Hi everyone, hope you're having a perfectly balanced day. I just topped the third regional in a row with Heatsoul Kashtira. For those new here, 3 weeks ago I won a regional 8-0 with this deck, and then won another regional 8-0 the week after. I've done a lot of videos going over the builds and combos of Heatsoul Kashtira, and I improved the deck again with a few changes that I was very happy with. My only loss this past weekend was due to a game loss round 5 received through a deck error, where some of my 7-year-old hand traps had got a bit too worn down with bits of dirt at the top, which of course, though not my intention, had made them ever so slightly more distinguishable from the rest of the cards in my deck. I replaced these cards for the remainder of the event, but I had to return the replacements. So for this video I'll throw these cards in with these sleeves so that I'm not profiling empty sleeves. The penalty they gave made sense, even though there was no malicious intent, but it does suck that my regional win streak was ended by losing a match that didn't even have a game 3. Despite all that, the new build felt very good, and I did get some more worlds points for top 8s. But with no further ado, thank you for 6,000 subscribers, and enjoy! So as before, we have 3 Unicorn, 3 Fenrir, 3 Rysart for consistency, 1 Heatsoul Kashtira, and Ogre and Prep. These are still very good, I like them a lot, especially against Labyrinth, which is now more popular with rollback being the card. We have the 4 planets, 3 Birth, and 3 Theosis. As mentioned before, you do not have to play 3 in this deck because it does Xyz lock you, but we do play 3 because we play Desires along with Prosperity. I mentioned this card a lot in the last video, but I think it is worth it because this deck feels quite bricky to me sometimes, and more times than not this card feels good. Then one change that I have made is I moved talents into the main deck. This is because I cut my hand trap count down from 14 down to 12, and talents felt a lot stronger now that other people are playing a lot of hand traps. Sometimes you will open a hand where Ash does hurt you, and you can just do this to draw 2 or to hand rip them. I didn't think it was worth playing 3 though because it is a very awkward card to draw in multiples, and there's not a card you really want to see that desperately to where you want to be playing 3 of it. Onto the hand traps, we have the normal 3 Shifter, 3 Ash, and 3 Imperm. And then what's a bit slightly different is I play 2 Bell, and 1 Mourner. So in the last 2 deck profiles I was playing 2 of this, and I went from playing 0 Mourner to then playing 1 Mourner, and now I'm playing 2 Mourner. The difference here is that I've now moved Joel entirely into the side deck and moved a Bell from the side deck into the main deck. The reason for this is because now that the format is a lot more defined, I feel like Bell has a bit more of a place in the main deck. Mourner is a more flexible card than Bell, so it would often make sense to be playing more of it than Bell, but by playing the second Bell over the second Mourner, it means that we don't have to put this other Bell in the side deck, which gives us more room in the side deck, and there isn't really a lot of difference between the 2 anyway, because in matchups where Bell isn't so good, like the mirror match for example, you can just summon it and make Fleur. So there's the main deck, still 40 cards, and playing 2 less hand traps than I normally have been. Onto the extra deck, we have 1 Shangri, which we make when we draw planets. Big Eye, which is very good, especially in the mirror, which is now quite a popular matchup. Sorry. Dark Armor's really good, and I still play Flame Metal. This card's still pretty insane. You can put them on about 1,000 life points and then make this, and it puts them in a really weird spot. Then the actual card we summon, which is Dracosac, because we do this into 2 tokens, into 2 Link Spiders, into G-Golem, into Heatsoul. Then we use Dracosac and Heatsoul Kashtira to make IP or SP, and we can also use the Heatsoul to make access code. If you want to see these combos in more detail, then check out the last deck profile. Then we have Zeus, Typhon, and Fleur, which are all pretty important cards. And then on to the side deck, which is also a bit different now. As mentioned just now, I've moved all the draws into the side deck. This is because I think that with the exception of like really big combo decks, I didn't really want this card too much because I don't really need to stop them from playing entirely. And draw can be quite high rolly because the card either does everything or nothing. And I feel like the end boards that most decks make right now are like not that incredible. So you don't really need to stop them entirely, with the exception of decks like Vanadium. And then we have the 3rd Bell for matchups like Labyrinth. As before, we still have Lightning Storm and Duster, very good for Rescue Race and other back row decks. And then something new is that I play 3 evenly, because it's really good against Rescue Race, Labyrinth and Kashtira. And then the last 5 cards are also new additions. I played 2 Thrust because I can use this to search for these breakers, and I put Thrust in going first a lot of the time too because it also sets the MVP, which is Magic Deflector. This card's very good against Fire King, Rescue Ace, Kashtira, Purely, which is becoming more popular now because of Kashtira being popular. This card in fact FTKs Purely because they can't use spells, they can't use My Friend, they can't use Street. It does so much. What I like a lot about it is that it's really good against board breakers because if they evenly or duster you, you can chain Deflector to that, and then even though you lose cards from that, they're still under Deflector for the entire turn. And then the last card in my side deck is One Judgment because with side patterns I wanted a 5th card in going first, whereas normally it's these 4, and then Judgment is a flexible card that covers every matchup when I go first. Shoutouts to Connor for driving again, to Tier 0 Games, and use code BALANCE5 at checkouts. Have a perfectly balanced rest of your day, and yeah, adios.